Um, Welcome to this video. In this video, I will just share some information uh, on track management, just mostly in the question and answer format. Yeah, some information on managing the track. And I'm just checking on it, so I just thought I can record it as well. So, what is track management? Track management, let's see, you know the concept of tracking, right? Uh, you're just tracking an object or a person. Yeah, tracking means the path they are following. So that's the tracking. Yeah, I think you can use radars or video cameras. I think some sort of algorithm activated video cameras for some software in the background uh, for this tracking. So I think when you see people, let's see, if you are trying to track two cars in the area, you know which car is going to which direction or which car is going where. You know the exact path they are following within your field of vision, right? So tracking is about assigning an object, moving object to a particular path, and you can draw the path, right? But if you use radars or sensors, yeah, I think they are not as smart as you. So yeah, they can read the. I think they can get readings from the object, or they can take pictures from the object, but they might not be smart enough just instantly recognize which reading is from which object, and based on the all the time, uh, which readings or which images are coming from which object, and just creating a path, individual paths for each of the cars or trucks or aeroplanes you're trying to track. So you need some sort of uh, smart algorithm intelligence there to associate those pictures or those sensor readings to assign, okay, these readings or these images from this object A, and these readings and these images are from this object B, and you will keep tracking. The objects will be moving. You will be getting more and more readings, and you will be associating those new readings to the previous objects, and you don't want to uh, assign to the wrong object, or sometimes you are trying to track uh, cars, but if people come in the middle, so you don't want to assign those people to one of the cars. So that challenge is there. So that is a false thing. If you're tracking cars, then the person is the false thing. So yeah, you have to avoid this. You should not assign the people's track to the car tracks. You should not make this. Yeah, this is the track management problem. So yeah, now how it actually goes, or how you will, I think you can just assign some levels to the tracks. Let's say you are creating some tracks. You are thinking, okay, this car is following these tracks, or this another car is following these tracks. But do you really know that is it really a track, or is it really the object, or it is something different for like a person? So I think initially, okay, when you get some readings, some images, you can think, okay, you might have got some uh, tracks, or got something that you're trying to track. You can say, okay, based on a couple of readings, you can say, okay, probably these are some tentative tracks. So there is a possibility these are some tracks. You're trying to keep track of them. And then at one certain, after a couple of readings or some readings, you can be pretty sure, okay, it looks like this is a track for sure. This is the cars. These are the cars that I'm tracking, and these are the paths they are following. Then you assign them a confirmed level. Okay, so yeah, but I think if you see when you are initially started some new readings, you are thinking, okay, this might be a track, but you eventually found out those are not the really track, those are false alarms, and no new readings are coming, and you cannot assign those new readings to any of those previous tracks. Then in that case, those tentative tracks, you delete them. But the one that you don't delete, and after sometimes, okay, you are certain that okay, the newer readings are coming, and you are being uh, able to associate those some of the previous tracks, and those tracks are consistently being updated, then you are changing their status to confirm. After some more time, so I think the objects, they might have gone out of your uh, field of vision, or those are false track. Probably those were some cycles, let's say bicycles and truck. Bicycles and cars, they are going uh, similarly side by side, and you actually are thinking the bicycles to be the cars. So you are giving them confirm status, but they are not the confirm, because it's also a false track. They are keeping track with the cars for some time, but they are uh, out of out of yeah, the car will move fast, and the bicycle it will not go move that much. So yeah, that can be the thing. What I'm trying to get to is the false track can also get the confirmed track. Confirmed track. It's not that the false track will be just in the tentative and it will go away, but false track can also get some uh, confirmed status depending on the speed limit or the traffic situation, congestion. So yeah, you also have to trigger some confirmed thing. Confirm. In confirmed status tracks, those can also be false. And at one point, you might have to delete those false tracks that you already were thinking to be confirmed. But sometimes the confirmed tracks, you also have to terminate them or delete them, because they have, yeah, they are really confirmed that, but they have gone out of your field of vision. So in that case, confirmed tracks will also get terminated. So I think you'll be labeling tracks as tentative, confirmed, and then date or terminated. Now, tentative tracks, they can get deleted, they can be promoted to confirm. Confirm tracks, they can be promoted to dead or deleted depending on if it is a first track case, but still if it is going field of view out of field of view, still they will be going to dead. Yeah, confirm, it can go to dead in both cases, like it had a false track or it has got field of vision. Okay, I think what you can do is, it will think the measures that we take, the logic that we take, whether a confirm track, how it goes to date, whether it was first track, that's why it went to date, or it went out of field of vision. So yeah, I think, let's say, uh, okay, we'll go there depending how you measure anyway. So how does track management go? Track management go, you got some readings. So initially, if you cannot assign them some tracks, you will mark them as tentative. Let's say you just started. There is no previous tracks. Still, you will try to see if you can associate them to some other tracks. But if you say, okay, there is no other tracks, then those readings become new tracks and tentative tracks. Okay, if there is no tracks, and if you the tracks are there, if you try to associate to some previous tracks, but you cannot associate them, still they go to uh, new tracks. But yeah, you can keep the, if you can associate them to previous track, those are still tentative tracks, you can keep doing it. Then at one point, depending on the logic, to promote tentative to confirm, they might get promoted to confirm. But as long as you can keep them associating to some previous tracks, you will keep them associating, and they might still be in tentative status for some time, and depending on the logic, they might be promoted to confirm track. Another thing is, depending on the logic, up to a certain time, the tentative tracks are not performing well, you can still delete them. It's not that, yeah, depending on how far that tentative track can go, and what is their quality, or how many times they can be associated, how many time steps they can go as tentative, they might get deleted. Yeah, anyway, I think it will make more sense when I will go to the exact thing. So, yeah, and from the confirm track, they can go into date track. But they can be confirmed all the time depending on the amount of time you are trying to track. Let's say if they are always in your field of vision for the duration you're trying to track, they can be confirmed as tracked as you might not be okay. I think you probably, if you think that okay, at the end of the duration you will be marking them date. That's a different thing. I think it probably has to go through the logic that you are using. I think the confirmation or termination logic or approach that you are using, it has to go there. Yeah, I think you might end up confirm not getting to date, or you probably can. It always has to go to date. Yeah, anyway. So I think this promotion thing, tentative to confirm or confirm to dead or tentative to dead or confirm to dead. I think there are two approaches: logic based and quality based. In logic based approach, I think what you will do, you'll be taking, let's see, you can do it in this way. Out of 10 measurements, out of 10 detections, if you can assign five measurements to a particular track, and then you tell it to be a confirmed track. So depending on, let's see, if you are tracking a car and if you are taking the measurements in seconds, so in the next 10 measurements, you will be able to at least 5 of those measurements, if you can assign to the same track or same car that you thought initially, then you keep it, you promote it to be confirmed. If you cannot do it, you just delete that track, delete the tentative track. So in this case, I think you are taking away 10. It has to be within 10 time stamp, or in every 10 time stamp, at least 5 of the measurements has to be associated. Let's say when you are reading in an area and there are multiple objects, you'll be getting readings for all of the objects. Now, in the 10 time stamps, if you cannot assign 5 of them to the tentative track, all the tentative tracks, they have to get it. If they don't get it, then those tentative tracks will be deleted. So that's the logic based. But if you can assign them out of 10 time stamps, for the 5 times, you can assign a particular car to the corresponding track. At least 5 times, they will get promoted to confirm. And as long as they can maintain this thing out of 10, at least 5 of them, 5 readings belong to that track, then yeah, I think there should be some associations. Let's see, you can use algorithms like nearest neighborhood or probabilistic data associations. You just cannot get a reading and just assign it. You have to, it has to have some similarity, right? Okay, yeah, when you are tracking, you know the features of the car, you know the color, yeah, all the different things, how it is moving. You can easily do it. For computers, yeah, depending on some characteristic, it has to be about to assign to the previous thing here. As long as you can do it successfully, out of 10, 5, you can keep it confirmed. And quality based, yeah, quality based, yeah, I think there will be some calculation. Initially, I think when you get readings, you create tracks, you assign some quality like 0.2 or something, and then depending on the new readings and the characteristics of the targets of the environment, you see how likely a new readings belongs to a track. I think there is some, we'll be doing some calculation, which target belongs to which tracks, on what is the probability of the target survival, depending on those things, you'll be assigning those different targets to different tracks. And depending on those calculation quality, I think the way you are assigning all the logic, let's see, you can also understand some characteristics of the actual object or target, and then you can assign them. And depending on those quality of those tracks that you are trying to maintain, you might delete them, tell them confirm, all those things will be there. Anyway, how does logic-based track management work? Anyway, we just told, okay, detection. If you cannot associate, you create a new track and assign it to tentative. If you can assign, if you assign them and the tentative track can get to deleted or confirm, you already know it. And in the logic-based, the tentative confirm, I think in logic-based confirm track can be promoted to confirm, but it can keep in confirm, but it can go to dead. And quality-based, okay, it works on some calculation. I think the quality of the track, depending on the quality score, it will work, and you will be assigned calculating some scores for all of the tracks that you are thinking to be tracks. So, and then you will be comparing those scores, track quality, into some thresholds, and depending on the thresholds, you will be promoting, demoting, deleting, all those things that you'll be doing, right? So what are the different types of thresholds that you use? Okay, I think the algorithms approaches might differ, but some of the common things can be threshold for deleting tentative track, thresholds for deleting tentative tracks. Okay, you're thinking there is a tentative track, whether you will delete it or not. So yeah, the track is score quality. If it is less than this threshold, I think threshold for deleting tentative track, you will be deleting these tentative tracks. Now, threshold for promoting active track. Threshold for promoting this is another threshold. If the track quality score is greater than this threshold, you promote it to confirm. Threshold for deleting confirmed track. For deleting confirmed track. So this is a threshold. So track quality, track is scored. If less than this one, then you will be deleting this track. Delete this confirmed track. So if you want to compare these approaches, logic-based, it will be easy to use. However, M and N can vary. Depending on the application, you might have to adjust this. Depending on the application, for each application, you will have which MN you use. I think 3 out of 2 or 2 out of, okay, let's say 2 out of 2 can be used for tentative to confirm. Anyway, 2 out of 2, 3 out of 2, I think I saw some are using those, but yeah, it can be good. I think it depends on the applications. Anyway, so the core point is you have to adjust those MN values depending on the application, and usually it's easy to use, but I think implementation still can be tricky. It might not be as easy as, because you have to maintain those multiple statuses, and then you have to switch them back and forth. And if there are multiple targets, yeah, it's not just pretty straightforward coding, but still. Anyway, quality based, I think non-clutter scenario. Okay, let's say quality based thing, they will work better where the clutter in the environment is not non-uniform. There are some clutters. There are some clutters in the uniform. Some clutters in the environment, not okay, non-uniform. However, false alarm density, that can be difficult to measure. If you can measure that false alarm density, it will give a better output. So there are some measures that will be using true target detection probability, false track probability. Those are some measures that are used. Anyway, I think, let's see. I can show you some equations for the quality-based track management. I think quality-based track management, those equations, how they will do. I think what you will do, you will be predicting the quality. You will be predicting the quality for a track. And if you can associate the measurements to a track, then you will be updating the quality score of the track. But if you cannot associate it, you will be updating in a different thing. How you will update a track, that will differ. I think okay, I think let's see, I can share that. Desktop. Anyway, looks like, okay, new share. Okay, this is a research paper on this, and looks like it's a patent. Okay, it's in the public domain. I actually did not want to show all this. I wanted to show the name of the paper. Okay, let's see if I can go there. Okay, I think this is the one, track quality based multi-target tracker. That is the patent or research paper, whatever you want to say. And the equations, I think on the page 14. Okay, so this is the equation. So when the track is associated with a measurement at a future time step, the track quality module can be configured to calculate track quality. Okay, this is the how the track quality value is updated. But if you cannot associate it, there will be another equation. And this is the likelihood of detection. The thing pi d, total detection probability inside a gate for the target. I think I found it in public domain. So yeah, I didn't actually want to share all those things, but I wanted to share the equation. And I think there will be another equation, something similar. Okay. Anyway, I think you can read this paper. And I think here they are telling that when the track is associated with a measurement at a future time stamp, you might see it in the language can be different in different ways. I think it might say if a measurement can be associated with a track or not. In that case, here the equation uses k plus 1 time stamp. I think future time stamp. A track can be associated with a measurement in future time stamp. And when you read when a measurement can be associated with a previous track, I think they might use k minus 1 time stamp. I think at k anyway, I think you need to find out, and I have to dig deeper into the equations. Yeah. Anyway, that's all for now.